My friends, every once in a while the world pauses, not because of conflict, but because of clarity. Recently, Israel's bold message to India did just that. It reminded nations that respect is not built overnight, and partnerships are not forged by convenience, but by conviction. This message was more than diplomacy, it was recognition. Recognition of India's growing influence, its democratic strength, and its commitment to peace in a time when peace is often misunderstood as weakness. Israel's statement didn't just echo across New Delhi or Jerusalem. It rippled through the corridors of power across continents. It said, loud and clear, the balance of power is changing, and India stands at the center of it. What makes this moment historic is not the words alone, but the shared vision, innovation, resilience, and a belief that nations can rise together without tearing others down. Both countries have weathered storms, fought isolation, and turned challenges into triumphs. And as this message spreads, it serves as a reminder to all of us that alliances built on trust can redefine the world, that dialogue is stronger than division, and that the future belongs to those who lead with courage, not fear. So, as we witness this new chapter unfold, let it inspire us to build bridges where walls once stood, to seek unity where there was once doubt, and to believe once more in the power of partnership to shape a better tomorrow. Israel's message to India stands as a powerful acknowledgement of the nation's expanding role on the world stage. For decades, India was often viewed through a limited lens, a developing country rich in culture but burdened by challenges. Yet today, that perception has changed dramatically. Israel's recognition is not merely a diplomatic courtesy. It is an admission that India has emerged as a pivotal force in shaping the future of global politics, economics, and security. This recognition did not come by accident. It is the result of decades of perseverance, reform, and the steady rise of a confident, forward-looking nation. From leading space missions that inspire the world to driving digital transformation across its vast population, India has shown that development and democracy can coexist and thrive together. Its economy, once seen as fragile, now fuels innovation and attracts global investment. Its scientific talent influences global industries, and its youthful population brings energy and ambition to a changing world. When Israel speaks with admiration and respect for India, it signals something deeper, a shift in how the world perceives power. In an era when strength is often defined by military might or economic dominance, India's power lies equally in its principles: democracy, inclusivity, and cooperation. It is a nation that believes in progress without aggression, leadership without arrogance. This acknowledgement also highlights India's growing role in global peace and stability. As conflicts rise in various parts of the world, India has chosen the path of dialogue, diplomacy, and balance. Its leadership seeks not to divide, but to connect, building bridges across regions, faiths, and ideologies. And when a nation like Israel, known for its own resilience and strategic importance, recognizes this approach, it adds immense credibility to India's global standing. In essence, Israel's message validates India's transformation from a regional player to a responsible global leader. It recognizes not just what India has achieved, but what it represents: hope for the developing world, strength and diversity, and a future built on innovation, integrity, and peace. This moment, therefore, is not about one statement or one alliance. It is about the world finally seeing India not as a follower in global affairs, but as a force shaping the very narrative of the 21st century. The connection between Israel and India goes far beyond formal treaties or diplomatic exchanges. It is rooted in mutual respect, shared struggle, and a deep understanding of what it means to build a nation from the ground up. When Israel delivered its bold message to India, it wasn't just a routine expression of political solidarity. It was a heartfelt acknowledgement of a bond that has grown through trust, courage, and common values. Both countries were born in times of immense challenge, surrounded by uncertainty and the need to define their own destiny. Israel, forged through struggle and survival, has always valued strength rooted in conviction. India, born through a peaceful revolution of ideas and unity, embodies the power of endurance and vision. These shared experiences of overcoming colonialism, war, and isolation have built a foundation of respect that cannot be manufactured in boardrooms or summit halls. It is respect earned through perseverance. Israel's message is therefore not simply political, it is personal. It speaks to the spirit of India's rise, to its self-reliance, and to the way it balances power with compassion. Israel sees in India a nation that, like itself, believes in progress driven by innovation and determination. It recognizes India's capacity to navigate global challenges without losing its moral compass, to defend its sovereignty without succumbing to aggression, and to lead without dominating. This shared ethos of self-made strength and humility resonates deeply between the two nations. Beyond the realm of politics, this mutual respect manifests in tangible cooperation from technology and agriculture to defense and innovation. Israeli expertise in water management, cybersecurity, and agriculture blends seamlessly with India's scale, creativity, and adaptability. The result is a partnership that benefits not just the two countries involved, but entire regions that depend on their collaboration. In a world often divided by ideology and competition, Israel's words remind us that diplomacy at its best is not transactional, but transformational. It is about understanding and acknowledging the soul of another nation. This expression of admiration for India's progress sends a message to the global community that alliances grounded in sincerity and mutual appreciation can endure longer and shine brighter than those formed merely for convenience or strategy. The global balance of power has always been a reflection of influence. Who shapes the rules, who defines progress, and who leads the world through times of uncertainty. For decades, that balance was dominated by a handful of Western nations and a few emerging powers. But today, that equation is changing, and Israel's bold message to India is a clear acknowledgement of this transformation. It signifies a historic moment where India is no longer seen as a participant in global affairs, but as a central architect of the new world order. This shift did not happen overnight. It has been built on years of sustained effort, economic reform, technological innovation, and a steadfast commitment to democratic principles. India has grown from a nation that was once dependent on foreign aid into a country that lends both knowledge and leadership to others. It has become a key voice in global climate policy, digital governance, and regional stability. Its economy, now one of the largest in the world, influences international trade patterns and drives the world's technology and service sectors. Israel's recognition of this shift is not just symbolic, it is strategic. The message also highlights the larger realignment happening across continents. The traditional centers of power no longer hold a monopoly on global decisions. New voices have emerged, and India's is one of the most confident among them. With a strong economy, a growing defense capability, and a diplomatic approach rooted in peace, India now represents a bridge between the global north and south, a nation that can speak for both the developed and developing worlds with equal authority. This changing balance of power is reshaping global alliances. Nations once aligned by ideology are now connecting through shared interests and values. India's partnerships stretch from the United States to the Middle East, from Europe to Africa, forming a network of cooperation that transcends traditional blocs. Israel's words highlight that this flexibility The ability to engage with all without being bound by any is what makes India's rise so transformative. Ultimately, this moment marks a recognition that the world is entering a new era, one where influence is earned, not inherited, where respect is given to those who build, not those who dominate. Israel's message captures this spirit perfectly. It is not just about praising India, it is about acknowledging a global shift, one in which India stands not on the sidelines of power, but firmly at its center, shaping decisions, setting agendas, and defining what leadership in the 21st century truly means. At the heart of Israel's message to India lies something deeper than politics, a recognition of shared values, common struggles, and a mutual vision for the future. The relationship between the two nations is built on more than treaties or trade agreements. It is sustained by an unspoken understanding of resilience, innovation, and purpose. Both countries emerged from periods of uncertainty and built themselves into thriving democracies surrounded by complex geopolitical challenges. They know what it means to persevere, to defend their sovereignty, and to rise against odds that once seemed insurmountable. Israel's message to India reflects this emotional and ideological alignment. It acknowledges that both nations are guided by a belief in progress driven by human potential, not merely by power or wealth. India's philosophy of peaceful coexistence and inclusive growth resonates with Israel's emphasis on innovation, courage, and self-reliance. While their histories are vastly different, their aspirations are strikingly similar: to secure peace without surrendering dignity, to achieve prosperity without compromising principles, and to lead through wisdom rather than force. On the global stage, this shared vision has profound implications. Israel and India are redefining what it means to be modern democracies in the 21st century. Nations that combine moral clarity with technological excellence, compassion with confidence. Their cooperation in sectors like defense, cybersecurity, agriculture, and clean energy is driven not by competition, but by the desire to solve common problems. When Israel recognizes India's approach to development diplomacy, it acknowledges that the future belongs to countries that can balance power with purpose, those that can innovate responsibly and lead ethically. The power of partnership has always been one of humanity's most transformative forces. When two nations come together not out of convenience, but out of conviction, their cooperation has the ability to reshape not just their own destinies, but the world around them. Israel's message to India reflects precisely that, the belief that the collaboration between these two nations represents something larger than strategy or economics. It represents the potential of partnership built on mutual respect, shared goals, and trust earned through time and effort. Israel, known as the startup nation, has mastered the art of innovation through necessity, transforming limited resources into boundless creativity. India, a land of scale and diversity, has proven its ability to take ideas and turn them into movements that impact the world. When these two forces combine, Israeli precision and Indian adaptability, the result is a synergy that transcends boundaries. Whether it's in agriculture, defense technology, water management, or cybersecurity, the partnership has yielded breakthroughs that benefit millions. This collaboration shows the world that when nations unite their strengths, they can overcome even the most complex challenges. At a time when the world is increasingly divided along political and ideological lines, the India-Israel partnership serves as a powerful reminder that collaboration can be both practical and principled. It is not about aligning against others, but about working together for something greater, for innovation, peace, and human advancement. Israel's message to India captures this beautifully, that together, they are not simply strengthening their own positions, but demonstrating how partnership itself can become a force for global transformation. The world today stands at a crossroads, divided by ideologies, strained by conflicts, and often paralyzed by mistrust. Amid this uncertainty, Israel's message to India carries a rare note of optimism, a reminder that unity is still possible, that nations can rise above rivalry, and that courage and diplomacy can be as powerful as strength in arms. The statement was not just a political gesture, it was an invitation to the world to rediscover the value of cooperation, to see dialogue as a force for progress, and to believe once more in the power of unity to shape a more stable and compassionate global order. Israel's recognition of India's role in promoting balance and peace is significant. It acknowledges that India, as a rising power, has chosen a different path, one that does not rely on domination or coercion, but on understanding and collaboration. At a time when many countries are retreating into nationalism and division, India continues to advocate for diplomacy, for conversation over confrontation. This approach, measured, principled, and deeply rooted in moral strength, has earned India respect across continents. Perhaps the most inspiring element of Israel's statement lies in its broader implications for global leadership. It challenges the prevailing narrative that only a few powers can define the future. Instead, it shows that leadership in the modern age comes from those who can unite rather than divide, who can listen as much as they lead, and who can inspire others by example rather than fear. India's diplomacy, inclusive, respectful, and forward-looking, embodies this new model of leadership, and Israel's recognition of it reinforces the idea that the world's next era will be shaped not by the loudest voices, but by the wisest. Ultimately, Israel's message to India is a reflection of faith in dialogue and progress, and in humanity's ability to find common ground even amid difference. It inspires the world to look beyond borders and to believe that collaboration is not only possible, but essential. In honoring India's vision and leadership, Israel has done more than strengthen a bilateral relationship. It has reignited a global conversation about what unity truly means in our time. And so as we stand at this defining moment in history, let us recognize what this partnership truly represents, not just the union of two nations, but the meeting of two spirits determined to build a better world. Israel's message to India is more than praise. It is a promise that when countries stand together in respect, when they choose courage over complacency, and when they believe in dialogue over division, they can reshape the destiny of nations. Let this moment remind us that the strength of any alliance lies not in its weapons or wealth, but in its wisdom, in the values that hold it together when the world around it changes. India and Israel have shown that trust, when nurtured with patience and vision, can grow into a force that inspires the world. So let the world take note. Unity is not a dream, it is a choice. And today, through this message and this friendship, we are reminded that the future belongs to those who dare to choose it together.